Pero doon sa nakalagay sa Constitution, klarong-klaro na two-thirds vote of the Senate. Ibig sabihin, 16 to convict, or for that matter, 9 to acquit. No? And
Opo.
for that matter, I like to make this very clear, kahit na walang boto na no, they still need 16 votes to convict.
At sa mga oras po ito, nasa linya po ng ating komunikasyon via Zoom, si Attorney Martin Delgrad III. Attorney, good morning. May buntag, Jade at Admar po ang inyong mga kasama. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
At magandang umaga din po sa inyo, Jair Edmar. At
Opo.
sa inyong mga tagapanood.
Opo. Attorney, unahin ko lang yung reaksyon dito sa bagong liderato po ng Senado sa pangunguna po ng bagong Senate President Win Gatchalian. Ano po ba ang masasabi po ninyo sa bagong komposisyon po ngayon?
I will not be surprised. Kasi if you would notice, every time a senator is summoned to Malacanang, he changes his mind. Nagyari na po, reportedly, Senator Chis Escudero went to Malacanang. A few days after, he changed his mind. And there was another report that Joel Villanueva went to Malacanang for whatever reason it may be. And then a few days thereafter, he changed his mind. So whatever is the case, the new leadership is there already in the Senate, and they are expected to work. And I would subscribe to the statement of Senator Peter Alan Cayetano saying that there is already a new leadership, and he and his group, the minority bloc, will respect it. And that's how democracy should work, getting the majority vote. Not like the time when there was a deadlock at pinagpipilitan na sila yung may mayorya. When in fact the Constitution is very clear on what a quorum is, because no matter how you look at it from whichever angle you look at the Constitution, hindi po nagbabago yan. 13 talaga yung quorum. Eh ngayon, they were able to get 13 votes, eh di sila na yung mayorya.
Opo. Opo. At kaugnay nga dyan sa naging sesyon noong June 3, Attorney, yung petition po ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Anong magiging epekto po nito kapag magdesisyon po o may desisyon po ang Supreme Court patungkol po doon sa issue ng pagpapalit liderato noong June 3 session?
I would like to, actually it crossed my mind, na with the new majority now in place, baka sakali lang, the Supreme Court might declare the petition moot kasi nga mayroon ng majority block. But I would like to believe also, para hindi na maulit yung naulit pa, at naulit na nga nung several decades ago, under the time of Senate President Abilino. Kaya umabot sa Korte Suprema yung issue na yan. Sa ngayon, umabot na rin sa Korte Suprema. So perhaps to put an end to how the Constitution should be properly interpreted, the Supreme Court should proceed to resolve the petition recently filed by the Cayetano bloc.
Opo. Attorney, ang impeachment case ni VP Sara Duterte ay umuusad na. Kahapon nga ay nagsimula na itong pre-trial conference dyan po sa Senado kung saan yung dalawang kampo, depensa at yung prosecution ay nagharap po doon sa Senado. Pag-usapan po yung magiging procedure ng impeachment. Anong tingin po ninyo considering sa bagong komposisyon ngayon ng Senado ay paano ito, anong magiging implikasyon, epekto po sa magiging kaso ng impeachment ni VP Sara Duterte?
The impeachment case will proceed accordingly. No? Alam natin na yung any impeachment proceeding or impeachment case initiated by the House and tried by the Senate, no matter how the people will deny, especially those on the two houses of Congress, there is always a political dimension of this proceeding. No matter how we try to adjudicate. Ibig sabihin, we hear the cases based on the evidence. Meron talagang malakas na political implication or pressure on how the case will be decided, whichever way. That being the case, ang nakapagtataka lang dito, kung tama yung narinig ko at nabasa ko, hindi yung Senate President ang magpe-preside sa impeachment court. I don't know if I got the information correctly na si Senator Chis Escudero ang magpe-preside sa impeachment proceeding. Purportedly because he's a lawyer. But I don't know if that is, although the Senate has already resolved that in a resolution that was approved, but that will still not be in consonance with the Constitution.
Si Senator Ping Lacson po mismo ang nagsabi po niyan na pag magkaroon po ng magko-convene na po yung Senate Impeachment Court, yan po isa sa kanilang isusulong, ipapanukala na si Senator Chis Escudero ang gawing presiding officer. Pero attorney, sa kasalukuyan po o karaniwang proseso, hindi ho ba yung Senate President mismo ang dapat mag-preside sa impeachment court?
Hindi po pangkaraniwan lang yan, ano? Nasa saligan batas po yan, nakasaad. So I don't know how they will supersede, if I may call it that way, yung constitutional provision where it's the Senate President who is the presiding officer in the impeachment proceeding, covering all impeachment involving impeachable officers below the President. Kasi pagdating sa Presidente, ang Chief Justice po ang presiding officer. So below the President and all impeachable officers will be tried before the Senate in which the presiding officer is the Senate President.
Opo. Attorney, naniniwala ho ba kayo na yung special session na ginawa ay may kinalaman po dito sa impeachment, yung pagpapalit liderato, may kinalaman po dito sa impeachment ni VP Sara at sa iba pang mga issues na kinakaharap natin ngayon?
Liliwanagin ko lang, anong special session po ito?
Yung special session po na sinabi po o diniklara ng Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. yung nakaraan, attorney, na kung saan nagkaroon ng pagpapalit liderato. So nakikita ho ba ninyo na ang pakay o yung direksyon o may kinalaman ho ba, may kaugnayan ho ba ang impeachment ni VP Sara Duterte kaya kailangan magpalit ng liderato dyan po sa Senado?
Obviously, I fully agree with that observation. Kasi yung urgency, I'll put that in the context, Unang-una, there was supposed to be already a adjournment sine die. Ibig sabihin, adjourn na yung Congress sa pagkaalam ko. Pangalawa, the President may call Congress for a special session on urgent matters. And as it turned out, the matter that was discussed was more yung mga ayuda, no? So hindi ko alam kung pangangailangan ng tao yan, Pero obviously, I share the observation of Senator Peter Alan Cayetano na yung pinagdidiinan talaga o pinagpipilitan na magkakaroon ng special session para mapalitan yung liderato ng Senado. Matuldukan na ang liderato and will have a direct consequence in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Papaano, attorney, kung ang iba po sa mga senador o ilan po sa mga senador ay sasapitin po ang nangyari katulad ni Senator Jinggoy Estrada na ngayon nakakulong?
The Constitution is very clear, Pagdating sa botohan, you have to look at the Senate because this is what you call an impeachment court. Just like any court, they will have to decide on the basis of the evidence. But unlike any court or collegial court for that matter, this is composed of 24 senators. Nakalagay talaga yan sa saligang batas. So ibig sabihin, yung 24 and the count on how many would determine either acquittal or conviction nakalagay na rin yan sa saligang batas. Let us not get into any interpretation other than what is clearly stated in the Constitution. Buti sana kung yung Constitution ay hindi klaro na kailangan pa yung pupunta tayo sa Korte Suprema for the Supreme Court to interpret what the Constitution really means, no? Pero doon sa nakalagay sa Constitution, klarong-klaro na two-thirds vote of the Senate. Ibig sabihin, 16 to convict, or for that matter, 9 to acquit. No? And
Opo.
for that matter, I like to make this very clear. Kahit na walang boto na no, they still need 16 votes to convict.
Mm. Opo. Kasi nga, usapan na ay baba na lang daw yung baga threshold ng magiging boto para i-convict si VP Sara, considering na wala po yung dalawa, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, ay hindi pa alam nila kung saan, at itong si Senator Jinggoy Estrada, at meron pang iba pang mga senador nahaharap na sa kaso at reklamo, attorney. Kung gaano ho ba kadali o katagal ang kung gustuhin man nilang amyendahan o baguhin ang konstitusyon, particular na po dito sa impeachment trial po ng VP Sara Duterte?
Ay, patungkol dun sa pangalawang tanong mo, mahirap. Especially at this point in time. Amending the Constitution, just to suit their interpretation to lower the threshold of acquittal or conviction of an impeachable officer facing impeachment before the Senate, mahirap na sa ngayon. Kasi dadaan ka sa mahabang proseso to amend the Constitution. If you look at the provision of the Constitution, walang ifs and buts. Ibig sabihin, 16 votes to convict. No ifs, no buts. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung kukunin mo na boto. So, ibig sabihin din, as I've said earlier, kahit na walang boboto na no, kailangan mo rin ng 16 votes to convict. Yun lang ang klaro doon insofar as the constitutional provision is concerned.
Opo. At sabi mo nga, hindi madali. At ngayon ay ang bagong majority nasa 13. Para makakuha sila ng dagdag, para umabot sila sa 16, naniniwala ho ba kayo na itong ginagawa pong panggigipit, pag-file ng kaso, laban po doon sa mga senador na nasa minorya na ngayon, ay kabilang po o bahagi po ng strategy o paraan para mahikayat po sila na lumipat sa bagong majority?
No doubt. No doubt. These are part of the pressure that is being put on the Senate, no? From all sectors, including Malacanang, but not excluding all other sectors who also have their own interests to keep VP Sara from the race to the presidency for 2028.
Opo, at bago ko lang ipasa kay Partner Admar, yan po yung naging dahilan kung nakikita po ninyo bakit lumipat po itong si Senator Joel Villanueva, si Senator Chis Escudero, na yung mga nakaraan ay alam natin na sila mismo yung nanguna at nagbulgar din po doon tungkol sa flood control, at itong ang maging si Senator Chis Escudero na mention niya doon sa kanyang talumpati noon na si Martin Romualdez daw yung nasa likod nitong manumalyang korupsyon, itong flood control scandal.
Tama po kayo. In fact, it surprised me and it surprised many to a lot of people kung bakit sila bumaliktad. But they probably have their own reasons as well, no? At ang nakikita natin na rason na hindi nila sinasabi eksakto, pero yung rason is that yun nga, there have been a lot of pressures on them, and not just on the two of them who changed their mind, but also for the rest of those in the minority para bumaliktad na. At I'd like to commend those who have remained steadfast and principled in their position to stay where they are. I'm referring to the Cayetano Bloc. Lahat sila doon. Kasama na sila Senator Bongo, Senator Robin Padilla, lalong-lalo na si Senator Dante Marcoleta na talagang pinipressure sa ngayon, no? Sa kasalukuyan with cases to be filed against him, but naninindigan. Lahat na po sila, si Senator Pia Cayetano at saka si Peter Alan Cayetano. So lahat po sila diyan hindi na na maisaayos natin yung I'm sorry. Am I
Go ahead po, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting a warning here sa Zoom that it's not responding. But anyway, can you
Okay po.
still hear me?
Yes po, sige po.
Apo. So yun po na I'd like to commend them on the principled stand na hindi sila susuko hindi susuko sa pressure that is constantly being exerted on them.
Attorney, mayong buntag si Admar po ito. Meron po bang posibleng kaso na kaharapin or paglabag na ginawa sakali man pong mapatunayan? Kasi meron na pong una, nagbanggit nito si Senador Amy Marcos, yung pinipressure, tinatakot, posibleng kasuhan, kung hindi babaliktad. Si Senador Marcoleta, nagsabi rin nito. Si Senador Jinggoy Estrada mismo, no, nagpahayag pero sabi pa niya, abangan ng susunod na kabanata, no, sa detalye doon sa pagpe-pressure sa kanya. Lagi din itong sinasabi ni Senador Alan Peter Cayetano. Meron ba posibleng paglabag kung sakaling mapatunayan po na merong ganitong nangyayari, though kanila pong itinatanggi sa kabilang panig po, attorney, na may pagpe-pressure, pananakot, attorney?
To my mind, that's part of how democracy works here in the Philippines, ano? It's a carrot and stick. Pag hindi kayang suhulan na kakasuhan, ganun yung nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. Sad to say, that's the reality here in our Philippine politics. So yun po ang nangyayari sa ngayon. Kaya I repeat, I commend the principled position of those senators who have stood their ground, notwithstanding the pressure applied on them.
Opo. Sakali naman po na hindi ituloy ng mga unang mga pagbabanta o pahayag na may kasong kakaharapin or kakasuhan, itong si Senador Chis Escudero, ganun din si Senador Joel Villanueva, kasi nagre-resurface ulit yung mga videos ng ombudsman last May na within 2 weeks daw. After nito, masasampahan na ng kaso itong si Senador Joel Villanueva, pero hanggang ngayon wala pa tayong naririnig sa update po nito, attorney. Ano po kaya yung magiging nito? Dapat maging tugon ng ating mga kababayan hinggil sa mga ganitong usapin?
Mas mabuti siguro kagaya niyo na sa media tutukan niyo ito, yung salita ni Ombudsman Rimulya na kakasuhan and make accountable those people involved in the flood control. Napasama yung dalawang pangalan na lumipat na sa mayorya, might as well ask him what happened. No? All those promises on the basis of why they changed their mind could also, change however way and for whatever reason. So kung makasuhan man sila, baka magsisisi sila kung bakit lumipat sila sa kabila.
Opo.
Kung kakasuhan sila. Yun
Opo.
ang doon. Because that was purportedly the consideration or the proposal as regards the change of mind.
Opo. Sa issue naman po sa ICC, meron pong pahayag si Congressman Pulong Duterte na meron daw siyang reliable source na nagsasabi na meron na daw warrant of arrest laban kay Senador Bongo, at sabi naman ng mga taga-gobyerno, wala daw. Narinig na natin itong ganitong kwento rin nung panahon ni Senador Ronald Bato de la Rosa, lalo na meron na palang mga confidential na klase, pwedeng isekreto, pero meron na pala. Attorney, sa inyo pong pagkakaalam, meron din po ba kayong nalalaman na meron ng arrest warrant laban kay Senador Bongo? Balikan lang natin mamaya si Attorney Martin Delgra at ang pag-uusapan po natin yung mga pagbabago dyan po sa Senado at ito nga pong ICC issue kung saan may nabanggit po itong si Congressman Pulong Duterte mula sa kanyang reliable source na meron na raw na arrest warrant mula sa ICC laban dito kay Senador Bongo at sa dalawang dating mga opisyal ng pambansang pulisya. May kaugnayan pa rin sa kinakaharap na kaso ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at ni Senador Ronald Bato de la Rosa dyan po sa The Hague, Netherlands.
At nilinaw nga, partner, ng Department of Justice na wala pa silang natatanggap na opisyal na komunikasyon mula daw sa ICC kaugnay ng umano'y arrest warrant nga ng laban kay Senator Bongo. Ayon kay DOJ spokesperson Paulo Martinez, kinumpirma rin ito sa Philippine Center on Transnational Crime na siyang dapat na tumanggap ng anumang ganitong dokumento. Giit nga ng DOJ, kailangang direktang maipadala sa PCTC ang anumang warrant bilang bahagi ng mandato nito sa paghawak ng transnational crime matters. Una nang sinabi ni Davao City Representative Paulo Pulong Duterte na may natanggap siyang impormasyon tungkol sa umano'y warrants laban kay Go at dalawang dating pulis. Ngunit agad itong pinabulaanan ng DILG, PNP at NBI.
Balik tayo kay Attorney Martin Delgra. Attorney, naudlo tayo yung sa issue po naman sa sinasabing meron na raw arrest warrant si Senador Bongo as per Congressman Pulong Duterte na tinatanggi naman ng taga-gobyerno na alam naman natin meron na palang pamamaraan ng ICC na pwedeng isekreto. Ano pong masasabi ninyo? Meron po ba kayong information source na meron ganitong arrest warrant na laban kay Senador Go?
May narinig po, I'm sorry, nag-echo?
Sige
Is that
po, go ahead
okay?
po sir.
Opo. We also receive similar information as regards an ICC warrant on Senator Bongo, but there has been no confirmation until now. And that includes two others doon sa nakasamang kaso sa ICC sa kasalukuyan. But I'd like to speak about Senator Bongo. Kasi si Senator Bongo, insofar as the relevant period stated in the complaint against Mayor Rudy Duterte, during the time Mayor Rudy was mayor, si Senator Bongo was his executive assistant. Hindi po siya kasama sa plano or sa pag-execute kung ano man yung mga polisiya na nasa panahon na nasa Davao nung panahon na mayor pa si Mayor Rudy. And when Mayor Rudy became president in 2016, ganun din for a short time, he was what they call special assistant to the president. He may be privy to certain information, but definitely, given his position, he is not part of those who would take part in the deliberation on policy of government. So yun po ang nakapagtataka sa akin kung bakit isinali pa si Senator Bongo dito sa kaso na nakabinbin sa The Hague.
Opo. And dito po sa usapin naman na sakaling halimbawa kasi wala pang nilalabas din po na desisyon ang Korte Suprema po dito. Attorney, nakikita niyo pong hinog na kasi ito'y inilapit na sa Korte Suprema ninyo para po kay Senador Bato de la Rosa, this time ngayon naman kay Senador Bongo. Napapanahon na ba na maglabas talaga ng desisyon once and for all ang Korte Suprema ukol dito para hindi na muli magkaroon ng ganitong gulo kagaya po na nangyari kay dating Pangulong Duterte, kay Senador Bato de la Rosa, and this time kay Senador Bongo?
I fully agree with that observation, kasi ang makakatugon in a very clear and decisive manner on how this issue is supposed to be addressed is the Supreme Court, because the issue is now before the Supreme Court. We all know that the Philippines have withdrawn from the ICC, from the Rome Statute which created the ICC as early as March of 2019. Patagal na po yan. At hindi po natin maintindihan kung bakit hanggang ngayon ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas is still cooperating with the ICC. And having said that, ito yung gusto kong sabihin. Kasi ang narrative na sinasabi nila na kung may darating daw, kung tama yung nabasa ko patungkol sa statement ng DLG, susundin lang nila yung pagpapatupad ng batas kung may warrant. At the way I understand it is hindi naman nila sinusunod daw yung ICC, pero kung may request ang Interpol, gawin nila yung nararapat na cooperation with Interpol. Having said that, pwede kong ipalutang na lang itong napasok sa isip ko kasi na about yesterday or 2 days ago, President Marcos invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to the Philippines uh, this November. And he's inviting the Russian president as an official guest of the government of the Philippines. Alam natin si President Putin is a standing ICC warrant. Ano kaya ang gagawin ni President Bongbong Marcos patungkol dito sa usaping ICC warrant against President Putin? Don't get me wrong, President Putin has been very supportive of the Philippines, especially during the time of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. If you would recall, Mayor Rudy, when he was president, has opened up and pushed what we call in our constitution an independent foreign policy. At pinalawak niya yung relasyon ng ibang bansa, hindi lang po sa Estados Unidos, kung hindi kasama na yung China at yung Russia. Pumunta pa nga siya sa Russia, no, on a state visit, and we are very grateful in receiving Mayor Duterte. We're very grateful to President Putin as regards that. But I'm referring to how this government will react on how they will handle the warrant against President Putin. So yun po ang